Hey, welcome back to my channel, guys. Finally, it's happening. DoorDash and GrubHub drivers are finally entitled to know the tip amounts. So I want to jump into this and get started. Okay, so the first part of a sweeping new law to protect New York City's 65,000 food delivery workers is now in effect. The law's proponents say it will help create better working conditions and more pay transparency. After a 2-year battle, new changes that seek to create basic rights for delivery workers went into effect on Monday. App-based food delivery workers are now entitled to know what the customer has tipped for each delivery and will be allowed to access most restaurant bathrooms. And this is really important because how many times have we gone out there, especially during the beginning of the pandemic, and we weren't allowed to use the restrooms at all, and that was pretty bad. Anyway, Josh, who bikes around 250 miles per week delivering meals, says fighting for these basic rights has been a challenge, especially during the height of the pandemic when these workers played a crucial role. Everyone has had the ability to hit a button on their phone and have had food delivered to them, Josh said. But sometimes they forget that there's a human behind that on the other end of the system. We are the invisible workforce that powers the city. Food delivery apps such as GrubHub and DoorDash must also now have a license from the Department of Consumer and Worker Protection in order to operate in the 5 boroughs. Commissioner Pete Hatch said more than a dozen app companies have applied for licenses so far. So this is pretty interesting. New York City is first in the nation to lead in this way of regulating the third-party food delivery apps and raising the floor of labor standards for this growing sector of workers, more than 65,000, Hatch said. This new law is just the first to be rolled out this year, with more protections coming down the pipeline in the coming months. The Workers' Justice Project has helped organize the more than 65,000 delivery workers across the city. That's a lot of workers. The group said customers can also help enforce these new changes by telling the person who delivers their food how much they tipped. Now that the apps are forced to disclose the full tip amount, delivery workers will be able to verify, and this is important, they will be able to verify that their tips were actually paid into their accounts, WJP Executive Director said. More changes are still to come. In April, food delivery apps will be required to pay for those insulated bags workers use to deliver meals. So instead of us having to pay for these bags ourselves or going out and getting extra bags, the app companies themselves will be directed to, they'll be required to pay for those. So that's good. And starting next year, they will also be able to start making a minimum wage on top of their tips. Okay, so this is great. So no more having, like I said, no more having to pay for your own delivery bags, other than the ones flimsy ones that they give us that were free, that fell apart within a couple of months. They will have to take care of that. And also, you guys will be making at least minimum wage on top of your tips. So yeah, this is in New York right now. However, what starts on the coast starts to trend inward eventually. So this is a good thing. I mean, at least it's starting somewhere, right? Let me know your thoughts on this, guys. How do you feel about this? And if you're not signed up already on the GetUpSide app, make sure you are, because especially right now with gas prices skyrocketing, you want to save as much gas money as you can. I'll leave my link as always. I drop my link below. Make sure you get on that. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know your thoughts on this whole thing. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, bye.